Last week, The Guardian disclosed perhaps the most sweeping surveillance program that's ever been publicly disclosed, and it's an extraordinarily troubling one in which the government is claiming the authority to sweep up millions of Americans' call records without any reason to believe that any one of them is suspected of wrongdoing or part of a terrorism investigation. So we filed suit this week to put an end to that program, and specifically to assert the constitutional rights of the ACLU and others who've had their call records snatched up in this dragnet program. Government is using this program to collect information about who we call, who calls us, how long we talk, when we talk, perhaps even where we're calling from. That sort of information is extraordinarily sensitive, and it can reveal things about your political affiliations, your religious association, your infidelities, and your intimate relationships. The information is incredibly sensitive, and one way of understanding that very clearly is to ask why the government wants it. It's precisely because that information has such value. Well, say what you will about the excesses of the Patriot Act, but the particular provision they were relying on here is supposed to be limited to picking up information from telecommunications providers that's relevant to an investigation that the government is undertaking. In this case, though, the government has used that authority to pick up communications that are not just relevant to an investigation, but all communications, on the theory that they can collect everything now and ask questions later. And that's simply not what the law allows, it's not what our Constitution allows, and it's fundamentally inconsistent with our American values. The suggestion that we shouldn't be worried because we've done nothing wrong is cold comfort to those whose call records end up in government databases where they could remain for who knows how long, subject to what conditions in the future. The simple fact of the matter is that the government shouldn't be collecting this information in the first place unless it's relevant to one of their investigations or somehow associated with their terrorism investigations and their responsibilities to keep the country safe. But there's simply no argument the government has that to keep the country safe, it needs to collect millions of communications of innocent Americans.